Because of the layout of the event now with the sprint format, I think there are a few more question marks, I think, and also only one free practice. If you don't get it right there, you might struggle a little bit in qualifying, and that maybe puts you a little bit on the back foot for the race. But we'll see. I'm still hoping, just to have a clean weekend, really get on top of the car. I think normally the sprint weekends have been quite all right for us in terms of setting up the car, but it can be sometimes hit and miss.
I did just want to ask you about Melbourne quickly, and specifically the Saturday of Melbourne. Various issues that day in FP3 and qualifying. Are you concerned at all that what happened then could happen this weekend again in Baku?
It obviously stays in the back of your mind, but you have to reset yourself and move on from that. I think there were many specific issues that we had all that day. It was a horrible day at Saturday, FP3 and quali. We understood a lot of the problems that we had. It was not just a single problem that will be really easy just to get rid of. It was a combination of few things that caused us to have this problem. So hopefully we don't get to see that again.
At the moment, I think everyone in the team is so happy with the results of the first three races, with the car performance. And also, I think the momentum, we want to keep it, in the factory, bringing upgrades to the car. I think the first one will be here with a smaller rear wing, just adapting the car to this Baku circuit. And see if we can gain some top speed, which maybe was our weakest point in the first three races. But we are happy with the start, but this is only the beginning, hopefully, for this project.
I think the last race was really, really great for us. We worked really hard to get that sort of result. It won't be easy to do again. We know the Ferraris will be quick, we know Red Bulls will be quick, we know Astons will be quick as well. So I hope that we're just in the mix. I hope that we get to battle with them. This is an amazing event for us to do that, and particularly with the shake-up of the whole format of the weekend, it's probably the most exciting weekend so far this year, and probably, I'm looking forward to seeing how it turns out.
I think the format is a bit different to last year, so it will create a bit of a different weekend format to us, a bit of a different approach. But in the end, we're racing, and every lap that we will do will be competitive like always, so I welcome it.
Great memories here, a track that's, a lot of fun to drive, really challenging, and always offers great racing. Good overtaking opportunities, and that makes it a lot of fun.
It's going to be challenging. Lots of, Baku is not the easiest track in a normal circumstance. Yeah. They've resurfaced half of a track, which will have a really big impact on the tyres. So learning from previous years is almost irrelevant as well. And for these F1 cars and tyres, they're so complex, 60 minutes isn't enough to get it in the sweet spot. But that's the same for everybody. So fingers crossed, that very first lap out in practice tomorrow, we're happy with the car, because that will make the weekend much easier.
Australia was definitely a better weekend for us, but things definitely went our way a little bit more, and I think we were unlucky, which made things look worse than they were in the first two races. We do have the upgrade. I think that was made clear and obvious very early on in the season. But what we have now is where we wanted to start the year, is what we should have started the year with. So like Esteban said, they and a lot of other teams also have upgrades. So our job is to try and bring slightly bigger things and try to play a little bit of catch up. I think what we have this weekend is just the baseline we should have started the year with. And it's about understanding what we have now. It's a better baseline. It's more room for opportunities and more room for improvements with what we have.
It's good to tick that box, to get the first points of the season. But yeah, it's a tight fight, and it's going to be a massive challenge to keep scoring points. So I think we are aware of that. So we just need to keep our head down, keep working, and do all the right stuff.
I think realistically we don't have the performance that Red Bull has with their car at the moment. What gives me the confidence for the future is that I know the plans of the team, I know what's coming to the car, but and this gives me the confidence for the future, because I know that the idea and what Fred wants to do, I am 100% sure that this is the right thing for the future, and that will bring us to fight with Red Bull. When is the question, and I don't have the answer for now.
Three very different type of Grand Prix, which some of them we had some issues. Good thing is that there's still 20 races to go, which is a lot. And actually we welcomed this mini break, let's say, to try and understand figure out how can we find those gains that we're looking for. But it's so competitive at the moment. Like if you're a bit off the pace with a car or whatsoever, it's many places.
I think we always had a car to be able to score points here, and we've always been quite fast in some areas, and we know where the weaknesses were in the last couple of years. So hopefully we'll start in FP1 and we'll have great surprises. So let's see.
I think it's been positive on the whole. I think for me Saudi was probably my most comfortable weekend in terms of pace and just gelling with the car. I think qualifying was a massive confidence boost for me getting into Q3. Melbourne, maybe not quite as comfortable, but I think there's a lot of variables there as well. Pretty tricky track conditions, a new track for me, home race. There's a lot going on that week, so I think I've been doing well. I think there's definitely things I feel like I can improve on and do better, but I guess that's part of the learning process.
It was a very long flight back. We were at the back of the plane with we called it the loser club. So we were sitting down with Charles, with George, with Esteban, with myself, having a couple of drinks together and crying over a pretty difficult afternoon for all of us. But on a positive note, I was very, very happy and let's say impressed with the performance that we showed during the race. Being able to fight with Carlos for the majority of the race, having Fernando and Lewis inside until the last few laps definitely proved that we understood the car a bit better, and I felt better also generally in the car. So happy with the progress that we did.
For me, it feels a bit more like relief or relaxed compared to where I was last year, where I had my first race in this format, because everything is very complex and there's no time for you to learn or adapt. You have to be straight into it. But in general, I feel like the experience really helped here so far, and from my side, just to have a good start, making sure we have the right balance, because that's going to be the car you're going to run the whole weekend.
Franz Tost has announced that he's going to be stepping down as team principal at the end of this season. Can we get your thoughts on that?
I was really surprised news for me, which I had lunch with him 5 days before that news or something like that. And he didn't mention about those things. Was surprised. At the same time, there was already rumors from the beginning of the season. So actually came that kind of true that he's stepping down. But still, there's 19 races to go to make him happy. Hopefully, we can end it up season in a positive way for him. To do that, obviously, we need a lot of still development we need to do.
Last year we were going pretty well, and we didn't have a low downforce configuration for last year's season, so we do this year, and hopefully that's going to be making a difference. I think we were pretty quick, but actually I was stuck behind Esteban for quite a while and couldn't get past him. There was no chance. So hopefully we can at least be a bit more racy and competitive. If we have the pace, we can pass people. But it's a very competitive midfield at the moment, very tight, and it's hard to know where you're going to be. But I have a good feeling.
We had a very strong showing in Melbourne. We had a really good race, and we had a brake failure in Jeddah. We've had a human error in Melbourne, but I think if you look at how we've gone about this year, we've made some great steps forwards. And in Melbourne we were generally the best of the rest outside of the top 4 teams. So it's looking on the up, and I think the motivation and the energy in the team is very positive. It's exciting to be back in the fight and to be able to fight some midfield teams. I do think some of the races earlier in the year have suited our car a bit more. The circuits tend to suit us. Hopefully the same here in Baku.
It's going to be an interesting weekend. I think the new format's definitely better than the old sprint format, in my opinion. And from a personal point of view, to have 2 opportunities to have qualifying in 2 races is huge for me to keep learning and sort of building upon that foundation, and I'm looking forward to it.
Everyone is pushing really hard, and everyone is very motivated to make those little steps towards the top 10, and everyone is trying their best, and so am I. So there is definitely a positive energy within the team to do better.